Welcome to Redfern.
Hey everybody, my name's Keg and today we're going to be doing the Tour of Beauty, which is actually a project that I've been working on for 10 years in a collective called Squatspace, including Mick and Lucas here and Diego.
So you'll notice on the tour different voices speaking on behalf of themselves, sometimes speaking on behalf of themselves and a community that that individual identifies with. Sometimes those voices disagree with each other. They sit alongside each other, and it's over to you all to piece them together into some sort of version of reality that you can deal with.
This place has been very special for our community for a very long time, well prior to the housing company and the organisation has been established here in the early 70s. Our people gathered here, lived here, fought here, did everything that human beings do on this particular patch of the world. The pressures that have been applied for the last 200 years meant that our conditions were vastly different than white Australia. They came out to set up a penal colony, all right, but we were always intended to be the prisoners of that penal colony, and we are today.
My job here as being the person who's lived here all my life is probably to give you the history. I think to understand about Redfern in a lot of ways is compared to a lot of other suburbs that, say, if we were talking even as late as 1970, are very demographically similar. Places like Glebe, some of the suburbs like Paddington and the eastern suburbs, though they gentrify quicker, of course. Gentrification as a process in Redfern Waterloo was actually quite slow.
What we're looking at was on December the 16th, Minister Hazzard, and I've always maintained the man can't spell properly, has too many Z's in his name. He came out and told us this area was going to be bulldozed, new buildings put up, and there might be some social housing left among it. That was a very terrifying thing that happened to this area. It marked the date of the destruction of the current community that's been built up in this area from the early 1970s.
This is the Yidaki, they call from up north, Ginger Reserve, the Gubbars go. But the Gubbars we call the white fella, or actually Gubbars mean government, because we could never say the word government. Back to camp. I just thought he knows what he got to do. And he saw all these tiny little ants climbing up the tree into the branch. So he walked over and he tapped it. It's a little bit hollow. He snapped it off the branch, off the tree. And he looked inside and he pointed it to the sky. And he blew all those little tiny ants up into the sky. That's how come we got the Milky Way.
Chico and his partner Nicole raised the question, you know, there's something really important to this community, and that's this mural. And we want work to happen on this mural. Maybe I'll hand it over to you to unpack the rest of that.
In my opinion, this is a sacred site. It might be a contemporary sacred site. It probably always was a sacred site, but it is an Aboriginal community.
This place here grew out of the struggle of the first Aboriginal legal service in 1970.
Okay.
Then there was the formation of the Aboriginal Housing Company in 1973, to which I was a founding member. I was also part of the group of 8 that went and got the money off Galt Whitlam in Canberra.
Yeah.
This is not a land rights, the result of a land rights struggle. This is purchased real estate. This is the first ever land that Aboriginal people were allowed to purchase in this country.
It's important to me and many other people that it remains how it was. That's an iconic place, an iconic scene. A lot of us here may be artists, and you understand the longevity and what art can mean, and you understand how deeply important it is, to the point where there's no translation for the word art into Aboriginal languages.